is a part of you sad that the crab feast is no longer?
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I'm bummed. I know that it was a pain in the ass, like that, for two guys to get together every week.
Dude, that people ask me all the time. The hardest thing about podcasting for our schedules and everything, especially even before we were parents, was still getting 3 people to sit in a fucking room for 90 minutes and laugh was the hardest part of podcasting.
Yeah.
Everything else was once we were in there, it was easy.
Yeah.
That was easy. So now being parents and our schedules with kids and with everything else we have going on, he can't rely on my schedule anymore. I can't be like, no, I can't do it tonight because of this. Then when finally, all right, we got that one night. Now here's 5 people. We're all out of town. We're on the road. I'm like, God damn it.
That's the hardest part. And Jay is hardcore a dad.
Yeah.
He might be like, he's so much a dad. It almost was like, are you gay? Like, only gay dads put that much work into it.
Also dads whose dads didn't have a damn thing to do with them, too. You know what I mean?
Also dads.
It's called abandonment. Dude, makes you build shit, and care.
He really has. He really. I watch his on his Instagram. You know who else is a really good dad? Brendan Walsh.
He is.
You're like, what?
Yep.
Are you
never
fucking shitting me?
I mean, at least you look good on Instagram, Brendan.
Dude, I was a dad when everyone else wasn't fucking dads, and so and there was an Instagram. I wonder if I would have enjoyed it more. I guess I'm still a dad, but I was my franchise player years were just went unsung.
Well, dude, you are a dad. Like, I posted a video a while ago, the first at bat my daughter ever had, and they were in princess outfits, her and her friend. She was swinging lefty.
I saw this video.
Yeah, and you commented on it. You said, I'm wasted in or whatever. I'm hungover in an airport right now, and I can't. This is the sweetest thing.
I think I started crying.
You said I'm crying right now. Yeah, and it was so nice because I was just like, it was one of those moments where she hit the shit out of it.
Yes, she did. Dude, there's my girls have. I was telling Joe Coy today, my girls are idiots. We play with the Nerf tennis balls and a wiffle ball bat. And one day they couldn't find it, so those 2 idiots took out softballs and a baseball bat.
What? Outside?
Just ting! Just hitting them into the fucking street. Fucking hitting cars.
My dad's rule was, don't break. If the window broke inside out, you were in trouble.
If the window,
because that meant you were playing ball in the house.
Yeah.
But if it came through, he wasn't going to be happy. He was going to be a lot less pissed if we were out there really playing, practicing than we were throwing a fucking football around the house.
Breaking a window was a rite of passage for an American boy.
Did you ever, I was just talking about this the other night with a friend of mine. So my brother and I, we shared, because, I have a twin brother and then a younger brother. So we always shared a room. And we had the side-by-side.
Is your twin identical?
No, he's 4 minutes older.
Yeah.
Tall and skinny. It looks like a white Scottie Pippen. And we used to have the bed side by side, so I would put him in a headlock.
You could have just said Scottie Pippen. I know he's white.
But he is white.
He looks like Scottie Pippen. Wait, your brother's black?
It's this weird fraternal thing. And I have him in a headlock, and I go to jump bed to bed, and I jump across. But when I hit that bed, my knee gives out, and it just punches right through the drywall. And at that moment where you're like, oh, fuck. And we had good intentions. We cut the square in it and everything, like we were going to patch it up. We never did. And when February came, that fucking room was freezing. That little hole, we were like, just stuff a pillow in there.
It should be a meme of, and I say boys, I know it's girls too, but my only experience was being a boy. So, but that boy moment where you do something like you go through a door and neither of you say, "Are we hurt?" You just go, "Oh, we're in so much fucking trouble." Oh, fuck.
I can't believe that came off the hinges.
That came off the hinges.
Dude, one time there was this moment too where it was a brief period. I didn't know glasses could fix your eyes when you were younger. I just thought once you got them, you had to wear them forever,
Yeah.
So in 3rd grade, I have to get glasses, and I got these glasses that were They were, remember Bob Greasy, the Dolphin? Okay, they were the Bob Greasy line. Okay, my dad's like, oh, this is, Dolphins quarterback. All right, so I get these glasses, but I don't ever want to wear them. I hate them. I feel like they make me look like a nerd. I'm in 3rd grade, and I'm fighting my brother one night, and he grabs my glasses off my face. This is the best. And he takes them and he rubs them on the wall. Oh. Now there's paint all they're fucked up, and I just looked at him like, I smiled. He realized, like, and I just put them on slow, and I just went, Dad, look what Derek did to my glasses. I can't see it all. He didn't give a fuck about whether I could see. He's like, those fucking glasses are $300. That's all. He didn't give a shit if I couldn't see. He got in so much trouble, dude.
There's so much things about being a kid. Those great Mom.
Yep.
Oh no. Oh God. That would be.
There was one night where so we had to split a car. We're both 16. It sucked. Every other weekend it was mine. Ray Romano's got that great joke when he holds his key. He just doesn't say anything. He just shakes the keys in front of him and shit. So this was this big ass we had a 79 Aspen station wagon with wood paneling and tinted windows and shit. And my dad also had a little Honda Civic before I did, and he would drive Baltimore to DC. He was a crew chief for Pan Am. And he would work. He was single dad, so he's working nonstop and driving. There's no cell phones or any of that shit then. When he's gone, he's gone. So he was leaving one night at like 1 a.m. to go to work. And I'm dead asleep. I don't even know what's going on. And I just wake up to hearing my dad yelling at my brother, like, are you an idiot? And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, just mind your business. And then I hear him go, car's Ryan's for 2 weeks. And I'm just in bed like, yeah, And I'm like, what the fuck did you do? So this idiot, my dad's leaving, and my dad forgets his wallet. At the top of the hill, he realized, oh, shit. So he turns around. As he's coming down, he's passing his son. And my brother drove right past him. My dad's like, you dumb motherfucker. You couldn't wait 15 fucking minutes?
Oh.
And he stole the car and drove right past our dad. Our dad's like, nah, no.
My sister stole the car when she was a freshman in high school, right? That's 13 years old, 14 years old.
Yeah, it's young.
She stole the car. My parents were at a party, and she and her friend got in the car, took my mom's car over to Avila, which is like right around the lake. Go joyriding, go stop by someone's house, come back.
14,
and my sister pulls up to the driveway, hits the garage door. My dad's car is in the garage, and hits the garage door, and just goes, "Oh fuck, they're here." I wish I would pay fucking money to be in the back seat with a 14-year-old hits the garage door and sees 2 tires, and like, "Oh fuck, they're back." Oh.
How old were you the first time you actually drove a car? Did you do it before
14.
You had your permit? Did you steal it, or did someone let you?
No, my dad used to, at 14, my dad used to let me drive the car. I could drive out to the front of our neighborhood. So from our house to the neighborhood, and I could drive once we got into our neighborhood into our driveway. We let Georgia drive out in Alabama. We let Georgia.
I saw that video.
And she was just like, and then she always asked. But one time I let, I can't remember exactly what happened. I think I let Isla sit on my lap and do the steering wheel down our street. But the problem is our street is like, people really drive down our street. So like they
go the wrong way when they're not supposed to come down there.
Oh, they fly that way. And it's like, so it's kind of super, super dangerous to even let Georgia get behind the wheel, because they're, within the amount of time that she gets her to drive down the thing, it could be a guy flying the other way. LA's laws are so different too. You can't drive within like, you got to stay within like 2 miles of your house to drive if you're 16.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like the laws are fucked. You can't drive with anyone younger than you.
How many people do you see? Whoa, you can't drive with any. So if you're 16, you can't have anyone under 16. That's probably a smart rule.
Very fucking smart.
How many people do you see stopping for school buses? I don't see one person stop for a fucking school bus in this whole goddamn city.
No, not at all.
Back home, everybody stops. All the kids walk across. These fucking people are just hauling ass right by.
There's a school bus stops on Ventura, and people just fly by it's a fucking bus.
Yeah,
like it's a fucking bus stop. Dude, I remember when I first moved to New York, I'd never ridden a bus, like a public bus before. Just never. We had them in Florida, but you just didn't do it. And I got to New York, and the idea of going down on a subway was, and by the way, I want to ask you a question about subways, see if you know the answer. But the idea of getting in a subway is kind of overwhelming to me. And I thought, I'm going to be the bus guy. I'm going to always ride buses. And they're just so impractical. You're like, oh, I'd much rather get in a subway and just get there. Hey, do you think, Bill Burr said that they make subways, they can put subways in, like, right now. Like, they could put a brand new subway line in, and then they get a big drill bit and go under the earth. Do you think that's real?
What do you mean? Just take a drill, like a giant tunnel drill bit?
And drill a tunnel? No, they don't. They're fucking liar. He said, he goes like,
you'd have to do that in stages.
There's no way they can just fucking drill.
First of all, what drill bit, that tunnel doesn't go straight. It bends and turns and shit. You know what I mean? What drill bit does that?
He's
the
like,
first turn, you can't
He's
do
like,
that.
you've seen the big fucking 20-foot diamond drill bits. And I'm like, just.
That means you would have to have a straight shot clear underneath from here to your destination in order to do one drill. And it would have to be that long. Like, how in the fuck do you do that?
Sometimes when Bill says things, I just believe him.
Or do you not have it right? If he's like, I didn't fucking say that, you idiot.
I'm sure I don't have it right.
I do that
listen
one all
very
the
well.
time.
I don't listen very well.
He's like, I never fucking said
We were
that.
talking. We were talking about mortgages, and we were looking at an $8 million house. And I said, "What do you think the mortgage on an $8 million house is?" He goes, $50,000. I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what's the mortgage on a $1 million house?" He goes, like $7,000. And I go, "So, I bet it's about $50,000." And he goes, "I just fucking told you that." And I went, "No, you didn't." And he goes, "No, I fucking just said 50,000." I go, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, you just repeated what I said back to me, like you figured it out
and worked it out."
I've been spending a lot of time with Bill, and I make him fucking crazy because there are things I don't even realize I do. Like, we were eating lunch, and I was done, and I don't even know that I do it, but I just raised my hands. I go, "Take it away from me," and, and Bill lost it. Yeah, take it away from me. Oh, if you could be better friends with one comic, let me rephrase that. If you could become good friends with one famous comedian that you do not know very well at all now, who would it be? I'll go first. I'll give you 5 guys I'd like to be good friends with.
Okay, now are we talking comedian, or are we talking like Will Ferrell's included as a comedian actor, or are we talking about proper stand-up?
Gotta be
and dead or alive.
One dead, one alive.
Fair enough.
Proper stand-up.
Okay.
I think I would be really good friends with David Spade.
That makes sense to me.
I think me and him would get along really well.
That makes sense. All right, this isn't proper stand-up, but Danny McBride is someone I think I would just hit it out of the park with. But that's not stand-up. But stand-up, better. God, it's tough. It's really tough, isn't it? Shit.
By the way, while you think, I'll tell you, I took a meeting at Danny McBride's company.
Dead Richard Pryor, by the way. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Freddie Soto. I'm in a Freddie Soto kick. I'll be covering this on Open Tabs this week. Freddie Soto made me laugh harder than fucking anybody. I remember he's my age. Do you know that? Did you know Freddie Soto at all?
I didn't. I knew who he was, but I didn't know.
I never met him. He was my age. Had a kid when I had kids. His kid's probably George's age now.
Man.
And then drug overdose, fentanyl.
Is that what it was?
That's what I just looked. I looked it up this weekend. This is what it says on Wikipedia: fentanyl, Xanax, and alcohol. For those of you listening, Freddie Soto was, he was one of the Four Locos tours. Not Four Locos. Was it?
I know what you're talking about.
It was 4 Mexicans. It was like Pablo Francisco, Carlos Mencia, Freddie Soto, and...
Was it Willie Barcena?
Maybe.
I can't remember.
He had a joke that made me... His dad waking him up, because he's like, and he sounded like a Valley Girl. Like he had like a Valley Girl pitch to his voice. You know when your dad... You've been drinking all night with your buddies, and your dad comes in, and his dad was very Mexican. He's like, "Hey, wake up, fucker! We're gonna re-roof the house."
Re-roof the fucking house.
Give me the fucking thing, the thing by the side of the right. By the side of the right. By the side of the right. Oh, but if I was one of your buddies with your drinking beers. Dude, that makes me laugh. A stereotypical ethnic father makes me laugh so fucking hard.
Yeah.
I used to have a joke when I was saying my dad told me when I was a kid. He was like, listen, motherfucker. Just do the joke. The whole dad character is a black guy. But, dude, Sebastian's dad, fucking hilarious.
Dude, the way he describes his father is so, that whole get down when somebody knocks at the door. He said, everybody, get the fuck down. Get the fuck down. All right, wait, Sandler.
I don't know if I'd be like, I'm not saying this because I don't think I would be good friends with Sandler. I would love to be good friends with Sandler. I would love to be Adam Sandler's friend. Here's the problem, though. I think what I envision him to be is not what he is.
He's probably a very withdrawn, quiet, yeah.
I think he's probably a quiet dude who listens, and I'm a loud motherfucker. See, I'm like someone, I think, because Segura is a little bit like David Spade. Like, a little bit like, right?
Yes, snarky.
How did you meet Tom?
And I met Tom the first time I met Segura. I'm trying to remember. It was probably around 2000, maybe right around then, 2001. Was at this room called Bar One, and it was on Sunset Boulevard. And you know where Sunset, if you're headed like from the Roxy west, there's that literal line, the Beverly Hills West Hollywood line. It's like boom, boom.
Yeah.
It was right there. If you looked west, you would see the Beverly Hills sign, like right there. So it was the last club in West Hollywood going there, and they had this 8 o'clock like Friday night room or something. It was, honestly, it probably wasn't much bigger than this room here, and it was curtained here. So the green room was just the lobby, and everybody else was in here. And when I walked out, Tom Segura standing right there and goes, "Holy shit, I thought you were a black guy." That's the first thing Tom Segura ever said to me.
Holy shit.
He said, you were a black guy. And then he was super he's like, "You were really fucking funny, but the whole time I thought you were a black dude." And
he was listening to you talk in another room, didn't he?
It was just right through the curtain. He could hear me, yeah. And he was next.
Holy shit, I thought you were a black guy.
Yeah.
Oh. I did a podcast with Joe Coy, and I was like, today, and there was 3 black guys in the room, and I really feel like black guys have helped define my personality.
In my life, there's no doubt. I've worked with so many great black dudes. Like when I worked at UPS in Baltimore, shout out to UPS Baltimore Hub, Primary 1, Joe Avenue. When I worked there, it was like, I'm not kidding you. When I went for the job interview, it was a room. It was like a downtown Baltimore, like I couldn't find a job. I was looking for everything from record store to you name it, and I got it's like a job placement room, and I was the white guy in the room, and they were like, "Well, you can work holiday help at Christmas. You're a driver's helper. The driver will pick you up on your front porch, and you will then just go on with them about the day." I just tweeted about this today. And all those guys were such characters and so fucking funny and taught me shit I would have never thought about, talked about, heard about, learned about. I mean, it was an education unlike anything I'd ever even heard in school, and these were older dudes too that are telling you shit from the 60s and the 50s, and you're like, holy. So I was just like always a student of it. So this is one of the things I've just been talking about this on stage, because every time an older black dude talks, I always fucking listen. I'm like, oh, this dude's been through some shit, seen some shit. He's got some shit to tell me and share, and I can learn. And this one dude, I'll never forget, I was delivering, I grew up working in my friend's dad's junkyard, and when I turned 16, I started delivering parts, and I went to this junkyard, this older black dude, and we're sitting here talking about this Chevelle he's got over here. And I don't remember what I said, but I just said, "Man, that's something." He goes, "That ain't shit." And I was like, "Ooh, what's he about to say?" And he goes, you want to know what something is? And he goes, "Next time your dick's hard." And I was like, this is exactly what he said. I was like, this is weird, but I probably should listen, because this might be some shit. And he goes, "Next time your dick's hard, you put your dick in your hand, and then you take the other one and you put it right over top of it. And if there's still something sticking out of the top, that's something." I don't know if that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard or the smartest, but I've remembered that for 20 fucking years, dude. That's something. He said. I said, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, my God.
Oh, shit. But yeah, I just tweeted about this today working at UPS. There was a day where I was driver's helper. It was in December. I think it's 94. If it's on this side of the truck, I deliver. Their policy in the county was out of sight, out of weather. If you're not home, you can leave. If you had a deck or something, go around, hide it for them, leave the package.
Out of sight, out of weather?
Yeah, I mean,
out of sight, out of weather. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Wow. I wish you could see how my brain was processing that information. Like, I can't see him. Throw it in the snow.
Pack snow around it. So I knock on the door, no one answers, but I hear people in there. I go around back, I knock on the door, no one answers. I go back around the drive. We're hustling. So the driver's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. I hear people in there, but they're not answering. He's like, just go ahead and leave it. So I go back around, and just for the hell of it, I bang one more time, and then I bounce. And that night when we get back to the hub, this supervisor comes up, and he's like, how about that crazy motherfucker on your route today? I'm like, dude, we're in Baltimore fucking County, bro. Yeah. Everybody is fucking nuts on this route. And he's like, no, the guy that killed the two people. I'm like, what? And the driver and I are like, what are you talking about? That house that I'm knocking on, that guy killed two dudes and buried them in his fucking basement. And he had them in there when we were trying to deliver this package. I'm knocking on the fucking door.
Oh, my God.
I've told it a couple times now, and some fans like tweet the link. So I tweeted it today. It's on my Twitter. You can go read it. And it's actually inaccurate. They said originally this guy killed these two dudes over a $1,200 like weed debt. But when they follow up on the story 2 years later after it goes through court and everything, they said it ended up being seriously like under $300. And he killed these two dudes. But what he didn't know, so he went to meet them. They show up in a truck. What he doesn't know is one of the guys had his newborn in the car. And his girlfriend called the police and said, hey, man, they've been gone for hours. I have a brand new baby in the car. Baby's fine. They get there. But she's like, here's who they went to meet. Here's where you could have been a brand new cop on it. So they go to the door, and the dude was he had the bodies buried, stacked on each other, but he hit like a water pipe. So they just kept floating up, and he couldn't bury him. And the police show up and arrested him.
Dude, I can totally see that happening to me. Like killing someone and then going like, God damn it! I didn't know there was a concrete foundation. Yeah. Now I got to get him out of my house. We're starting cutting up the bodies and being like, I can't get through the bones.
Dude, fuck that! I could never even like. Blood, I don't get squeamish, but I couldn't help anybody cut up even an animal. I couldn't do.
Dude, last night we were back here and we have rats go through this orange tree, and subsequently our cat catches them, brings them into the house, and then lets them go. So we have a rat problem.
So they're alive?
Oh yeah, he'll kind of like disfigure them a little bit, like break their arm or something. And so we did. We've been wanting to get rid of them. They all live in that queen palm, that big palm tree by the pool. And so last night I'm out here and I see two rats, and we just trimmed the orange tree, so it's very hollow. I can see the rats walking around. So I grabbed my air rifle.
Just chilling?
Yeah.
What do you have?
I got an air rifle right there.
What's in it? What do you shoot with? Pellets?
Yeah, pellets.
I used to have a Daisy 880.
Oh, this thing's fucking powerful.
Remember those? It took BBs and pellets back in the day.
Kickback.
Does it really? Yeah. I wondered how much more strong they are these days.
Fucking aggressive. Dude, our friend Lynn was looking in the scope, shot it, and the scope came back and put a big
mark?
It cut it open.
Damn.
So I grabbed my air rifle, and Isla's with me, and I go, I'm going to fucking light up these rats. I go, I bet, and this is not that far. I bet I can shoot them. And Isla's like, you think you can kill a rat? And I went, yeah. And then she's like, okay. And then all of a sudden I'm like, what the fuck am I killing a rat for? I just let it live. I don't need it to die. Like, they're annoying, but they're not like making me sick. They're just living. They're doing what they should do, is go into a fucking fruit tree and eat the fruit, and they're not breaking into our house. They're not trying to, and I was like, fuck. And then I was like, I couldn't kill it. Then I was like, I don't know if I could go kill an animal hunting.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I can fish. I don't have any problem ripping a fish right the fuck up out of the water.
Patrice said it's because they don't have eyebrows. He goes,
I've never heard of that.
He goes, a fish just stares at you like, what are you going to do? Just do it. Do it. Do it. I don't give a fuck. Because if they had eyebrows, I'm like, come on, man.
Oh, God damn it.
I wish I had spent more time with Patrice, but I'm glad I didn't because I've started bits on stage and someone gone, I think that's a Patrice bit.
Oh, really?
Because his premises were so, he was such a great comedian.
He really was. Not enough people know that. He really was.
It's amazing that that we all know it. I think it's all of us.
Yeah.
But
I still loved seeing the benefit shows they do for his family. I think that's so fucking awesome.
Oh, he would be a good dead comic to hang out with.
He would be. You're right about that.
He was just a fun, he was just fun and funny the way he processed the world. Like he always had a take on stuff. I remember he made me watch Bruce Lee movies with him in Scotland one day. He bought all the Bruce Lee movies.
Yeah.
He's like, we're going to watch them all day long. That's all we're doing. And I was like, okay. I was like 26 years old and just watched every fucking Bruce Lee movie with him. And I did not give a fuck about them. I give two shits about a Bruce Lee movie. I was like, let's watch a good movie. He's like, these are brilliant.
They are.
I was like,
I'm with him. And once a year, I watch Enter the Dragon and Smokey and the Band.
Enter the Dragon's the one with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Wilt. Yeah.
Is it Wilt or Kareem?
No, it's Kareem. It's
Kareem. Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
But the best one's the one is where he kills Chuck Norris in the Coliseum, and then respects him, lays his belt like gladiator shit in the Coliseum.
I don't remember.
You probably saw it that day. You just don't remember.
I did.
If you saw them all, you saw that one.
I was annoying Patrice because I just had no respect for black culture. He said, and it's like because I didn't know who Mobb Deep was. I'd never heard of Mobb Deep, and I didn't like Jay-Z. And he was like, how can you not like Jay-Z? I go, I just don't get it. And he was like, don't get it? And he played Jay-Z's song, and the lyric that got me was, beep, beep, and I'm picking him up, let him play with the dick in the truck. And I was like, he goes, you understand? He doesn't even get out of the goddamn car. That's a pimp move right there, Bert.
That's great. That's a great breakdown right there.
He got beep, beep, and I'm picking him up. I'll let him play with my dick in the truck. I'll let them play with my dick in the truck.
Yeah.
God damn it. How many chicks have you had sex with?
That's a really good question. I don't have a number, but I've done all right for myself. For being a fucking comedian that looks like this, I've done all right.
Yeah.
I've learned two things. I tell every guy that'll ever ask, three things. Number one, sense of humor. Number two, confidence. That'll carry you further than a fucking, Marlboro man with six-pack insecure ass any day will. Yeah. And if you're a single dude, are you single?
No.
Keep some pickles in the fridge. Girls love pickles. 9 out of 10 love pickles. Every now and then you'll meet that one's like, I don't like pickles. But even if you have a bare fridge open up, they're like, oh my God, pickles. Girls love pickles. You'll see, they'll hit you up. They're like, oh my God, I love pickles. Pickle spears, dill spears.
But wait,
keep some in
I
the fridge.
love pickles.
It's not just for women. I'm just saying, that's almost like a guarantee. If you don't have shit, girls will eat a pickle. Girls tell me over the years, and I just I'll keep some pickles in the fridge.
Call them up. Hey, you want to come over? I don't know. You got pickles?
You got pickles? I got pickles, girl.
What kind of if you have to go pickles? What are your favorite pickles to get?
I'm just gonna get some Vlasics.
You just go regular Vlasics.
Just some dill spears. Yeah, I've tried all the other shit. What's the ones that are cut with the ridges, but they
bread
also
and butter.
Yeah, bread and butter. They're basically relish. They're they're the pickle before it gets all mashed in the relish.
Yeah, they're really sweet. Yeah. I like the really sweet ones.
I like those too.
I like really sweet. I like spicy. We have Pete and Dave's, I think, or I just ended up buying $40 worth of pickles the other day.
I
love pickles, dude. Can I tell you my favorite thing in the world? And this is a shout out. I wish I knew my PO box. I'd tell you right now. I love candied jalapenos. You've never had candied jalapenos?
No, and I love spicy, and I'll eat the shit out of jalapenos. Yeah.
Dude.
Candied jalapenos. Where do you get those?
They're the greatest fucking thing in the entire fucking world.
Does it have a kick to it?
Yeah. Hey, Halston, will you go see if Leanne has any candied jalapenos? Will you just text her and tell her to come out here?
Because I like shit like wasabi peas, because you'll get 4 of them, then all of a sudden
I am praying
down.
on my children's lives right now that we have candied jalapenos. I'm going to introduce you to the greatest thing I've ever had in my life.
I love jalapenos.
The greatest thing I've ever had in my fucking life.
Let's do it, bro.
Dude, candied jalapenos are fucking phenomenal. First time I ever had them, we were paddleboarding in Newport Beach, and we rented all the paddleboard stuff from the guy, and the guy came out. It was for Travel Channel. Guy came out and he goes, hey, Bert, I'm a big fan. Heard you on Rogan or whatever. Listen, my thing is I make candied jalapenos. It's my grandfather's recipe, and I want to give you a jar. And I was like, great. And he goes, I sell them too. I go, well, how much you sell them for? And he was like $20 a jar. And I go, well, here's $60. Give me 2 more jars or 3 more jars. We went through all 4 of those jars before the trip was over.
Damn.
They're that fucking good. They're so fucking good.
You got me all fired up now.
Dude, candied jalapenos. I hope people right now are listening going like, by the way, in a parallel universe, I would like to get into pickling stuff. Not even joking. And I know you brought this up.
I'm so glad I brought up pickles right now.
I would like to get into pickling stuff.
Like what? Like, what would you pickle?
I had, you know what I had the other day? This is in the money that I spent buying pickles. Pickled Brussels sprouts. They're called frog balls. They're fucking amazing. They're so good.
I've raised my eyebrow because I'm not a fish, and I think those would be good.
Dude, I would pickle the fuck out of
like
everything.
Eggs. I'm not interested in pickled eggs.
I've had them. I've had them in the South where they put them in the big jar and they're
sitting
pink.
there floating in that like green, that pink shit.
Pickled cow's feet.
Yeah, no, that's what I wanted to ask you. How far
pig's
you've gone?
feet?
Because I've seen pig's feet.
I've had that. I've had
pig's
that.
ears.
See, I went through a phase when I was in
Chicken
college where I was like, I'm gonna try everything in life. Like it was, when you're doing drugs and stuff. And I was like, I remember one day going, it should be across the board. If I'm expanding my horizons. So I went into a grocery store and I bought like $50 worth of candy bars. All the candy bars I had never had in my life. And then me and my friends, we cut them all up and we each had them and kind of talked about them. And it was so much fucking fun.
Interesting.
Oh yeah. Like a payday. I never had a payday. Who's
Right.
going to get a payday when you're a child? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Old men get paydays. Guys that were in World War II. Guys who still put M&Ms in their soda and let them dissolve.
The Mary Janes. I feel like those dudes eat those old school Mary Janes.
What's Mary Jane's?
You never had Mary Janes?
No.
They're a peanut butter, just a little rectangle, peanut butter with peanut butter inside it. It's like a taffy almost with peanut butter inside
This
it.
sounds so fucking good.
Wrapped
right now.
in yellow with 2 little red stripes and this little girl, like a little Mary Jane girl on it. They're a little bite size like this, like a bit of honey, but a little bigger and more and peanut butter instead of honey.
I remember when I don't remember when Bit of Honey came out, but I remember first learning about Bit of Honey and being like, huh? Oh, that was good.
They were good. Whatchamacallits.
I remember when Whatchamacallits came out.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm probably wrong, but in like 1980,
I feel like
79,
it was in the 80s.
79,
Yeah.
I remember. Will you Google when Whatchamacallits came out, Holston? Yeah.
Bit of Honey came out in 1924.
I don't remember when
24. Holy
yeah, it seems like a
shit.
1924 candy.
About Mary Jane.
1924 candy, a Bit of Honey.
78. A little
What-
late on the
what's
Mary
that?
Janes.
Whatchamacallits? I remember when
that's right,
Whatchamacallits
yeah.
fucking came out. I remember when Whatchamacallits came out. I remember the commercials. A whatchamacallit?
I remember shit like Sprees. Do you remember Sprees? That silver tube of like just this. They weren't as sweet or as sour as Sweet Tarts, but they were the sweet.
Dude, chewy sweet tarts.
I'm with you on that.
Chewy sweet tarts. My God. It brings me the same joy that it does when you enter a woman physically. That first,
I'm gonna have to try them again then because I don't remember that.
dude. I remember when I was on the X show in 2000, 2001. They had sweet tarts in the kitchen, in the production kitchen, and I would grab sweet tarts and I would break them so they were all in little bits of pieces, and I'd slowly go through them. I'd just take a little corner and all shattered in there and just go through them. It almost gets cold in your mouth. It almost gets cold while it's hard, and then it softens, and you can feel it kind of falling apart at the sides, and then when you bite into it, it just releases. My mouth's watering. Do you hear my mouth watering? I fucking love sweet tarts. The chewy sweet tarts. Holy God. Oh my God, my mouth is legit fucking watering. What candy bar? What if you had to live on one candy? By the way, I'm going through this phase where I'm like doing questions like this. We did it this weekend in La Jolla. I'll ask you the question. You tell me. Last meal. It's got to be a fast food restaurant, and then order from that restaurant. What would be your last meal on earth?
From a fast food.
It's got to be a fast food restaurant.
I mean, I like Chick-fil-A chicken.
Oh God, yeah.
I love their spicy chicken sandwich, but I think I'd have to just fucking go old school, what I was introduced to first, and make it a filthy McDonald's meal.
Big Mac,
I'd probably I probably would do a quarter pounder cheese or a double cheeseburger. I like to get no pickles because in
double cheeseburger, no pickles.
You know, here we go back to no pickles. But hear me out on this, and this is a straight mental thing. I only take pickles off my sandwich from McDonald's because we had a guy we knew in high school who worked at McDonald's and pissed in the pickle jar, and because I knew he did that, I to this day. Just on McDonald's though, I just throw that. I'm just as a fucking little tip of the 40. I'm like, fuck that pickle.
Nope. I know too much, guys. Can't unknow that.
And then I take my fries and I stack it on the cheeseburger, which is how I think they should serve them. And then I eat my cheeseburger that way. Probably a cheeseburger and a Coke. And I mean, if it's my last meal, I'll just go for it. I'd have a Big Mac in there too. Yeah,
I would do
some nugs.
If I'm going McDonald's
barbecue.
If I'm going McDonald's, I would get 1 Big Mac, 4 cheeseburgers, and a 20-piece McNugget.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds really fucking good.
That does sound fucking good. I would get extra cheese on everything too.
No. I go regular, but here's the problem I have with Big Mac cheeseburger or with McDonald's cheeseburgers is they're never hot enough.
Yeah,
they're just hot enough. Like they're just like.
Did you ever know anyone that worked at fast food that you have the hook up?
My buddy owned McDonald's.
Owned it?
Yeah, his dad owned all the McDonald's in Florida.
Fucking
Blake Casper.
No shit.
Yeah, so dude, we ate McDonald's. Like Blake was the one that introduced me to putting pepper on your fries.
Oh,
putting salt and pepper on your fries. It really adds.
I put the pepper in the ketchup and then I dip the fries in the ketchup like that.
Dude, putting salt in your ketchup is like. I remember doing that for the first time, putting salt in my ketchup. God damn, that's good. But then you're like, how much sodium do I really need?
Right, because it's already salty as shit. But we had a friend, she worked at McDonald's, and we would just pull through, like, what's up, Kim? And then she would just pull around. But you couldn't bitch about what you got. You know what I mean? She'd be like, shut the fuck, I don't give a fuck if you don't like apple pie. You know, she would just throw us anything she could, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, we don't want this. She's like, take it and get the fuck out of here.
Pancakes.
You know, you just made me think of this just about food. We had this. Did you ever have a food fight in your school?
Dude,
we had an epic one. I want to hear yours, and I'll share mine.
I want to hear yours.
Oh, because ours still has ramifications. I graduated. This was 1990.
Yeah,
I graduated in 91. I was a junior, and so our cafeteria was a 3-tiered cafeteria. There was a top area with 10 tables, and then a tiered area here, and then the bottom floor was bigger and have more tables. Big glass floor to ceiling on this far wall. Big wall over here with like some, whatever, the state of Maryland, some bullshit. And for the whole semester, we were the early lunch, which I hated. It was 4th period. It was like 10:45. It was like this one, like, why the fuck are we having lunch? Like, this is stupid. At like 11. It was too early, but they had to get all these shifts in. Yeah, we're having brunch. That's right. So... And I was always embarrassed because we didn't have a lot of money growing up, and I was a free lunch kid, and now it's all cool because everyone's got a card.
Define that for like.
Don't let me forget about the food fight.
I'm not going to tell you, but like when you say we didn't have a lot of money growing up, like,
so I always say lower middle class. We were lower middle class, and we were the neighborhood next to your neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like we were right there, but we were just over there.
Yeah.
And back in the day, you have to go in before the day started, and there's always a bunch of people down there eating breakfast, which I never even knew that was an option because I didn't have money to do breakfast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my brother and I would have to get in line. You have to go in. You have to get this green ticket, just like a Chuck E. Cheese ticket. You have to hold that fucking ticket all day till your lunch game. Then you go through the line, and in front of everybody, you hand this green ticket to the cash register lady. So it sucked. It was embarrassing. You're like, yeah, I got one of these. So it got to the point where people started talking like they were getting pissed off about something. I don't know what it was. And it was just, it felt good to be a part of something because it was always so embarrassing to fucking do that in front of everybody. So this kid named Mark Penn, he was a senior, I was a junior. And I've told this on the Crab Feast, and people sent me pictures of the cafeteria. So he kept saying, I'm gonna start a food fight. And it just going on for weeks until finally we were like, whatever. We had heard it for a while, and then they served milkshakes in the old school styrofoam cup, and we're sitting just like we are. It's an octagon table. He's right there. I'm right here, and the rest of the cafeteria is behind you. The second tier and the huge bottom floor.
Yeah.
And he just looks at me and he goes, "Are you ready? It's Pizza Friday." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, he takes his milkshake and he fucking launches this motherfucker over his head backwards. And I'm watching, and I mean, it hit that table down there and blew up everywhere, and everyone got up, and it was fucking mayhem. I mean, you saw pizza hitting the wall and sliding down that great state of Maryland seal and shit. And we flipped our table, and it was corn cups and pizza and people getting fucking crushed. They came in, they went nuts. We had milkshakes and everything. Not only were they gone for us since 1990. I know girls that have kids that go to school there. They're like, "Ryan, the milkshakes are still gone."
Really?
Banned that moment, 1990. Never. 2018, they still do not have fucking milkshakes.
Fucking Mark Penn.
28 years because of Mark Penn. And we had to eat lunch in silence the rest of the year. It was like October, November, like now.
Yeah.
And we had to eat. It was silent lunch the rest of the fucking year. And they would stand there and watch. But it sucked after that. But goddamn, it would have been one of those where somebody literally should have just been going, "Action!" And we were just like, "Ah!" Oh, it was the best. Because we knew we had one fucking shot at it, and then it just backfired.
Dude, I think that I'm so glad I was a part of a food fight. I was a part of a few food fights. So I went to an all-boys Catholic high school.
Good.
And I was in a fraternity. So we had food fights in the fraternity house fucking nonstop. But my first food fight I was ever a part of was a freshman year, and I walked in, and I was talking to my buddy Cayman, and I walked into the cafeteria, and an apple hit me in the head. Fucking exploded and knocked me down.
Did it really?
Oh, dude, fucking hit me. I was talking to him like this, and it goes, wham, and it just, I didn't know what it was either. But that was the problem in an all-boys Catholic high school. They just get apples, and it was like a snowball fight with apples. But yeah, I've been part of a few food fights, I think. I don't know. Going to an all-boys Catholic school was like...
Yeah, what is that like?
It was awesome, man. It was so fucking awesome. Oh, it was the best experience of my life. Because it was just like...
All 4 years? You were 9th through 12th?
9th through 12th. And it was the greatest. I would never trade it for anything. It was like... In Georgia, my oldest is in an all-girls Catholic high school. And she loves it. Because there's like... I get up every morning. I mean, starting in like my sophomore year, I get up... in my underwear, and I get in my car in my underwear, and I drive to school. I drive to school in my underwear.
Are you serious?
Being dead serious. I get out of the car at school, and I put on my pants. I put on my shirt that was in my trunk.
Outside the car?
Outside the car, and I just walk into school. And then I'd go.
I guess so. There's no girls to worry about.
No girls. No one gave a fuck. And then I go do all school, go do baseball, and outside in the parking lot outside the field, I take my clothes off, I throw them in my trunk, and then I put my baseball pants on and walk in. And I just left, or maybe I changed in the locker room outside baseball because we had a locker room. But you just throw your clothes in the trunk, and I wear the same pants all week. I wear the same shirt, and then the best was like after lunch, like fifth period, everyone would go to the gym and work out, and so there was no pretense. I learned a lot about men. See, I didn't grow up around men a lot. Like,
I wanted to ask you what your dad was like. I know the kind of dad you are, so we can come back to that though. But you learned a lot about men from.
My dad's not like a pussy hound. He's not like a. I mean, maybe he is. I know he cheated on my mom, but he never was like talk to me about women. Never talked to me about hot women. Never talked to me about fighting.
Did he ever coach a team?
He coached all my teams.
He did.
He was just a good dad, but I think also he's very a pretty. He's not a like. I mean, he is gregarious, but like I don't remember him just being like talkative when I was a kid. Like he'd listen to sports radio, and I just sit there, stare out the window.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But like played golf, had a bunch of friends. Like he's a really good guy. He's a really good guy.
Is he a good grandfather?
I mean, he's got his limitations. He loves my kids and he loves my sister's kids. But that's not him. He's much better with like grown older kids.
Yeah, I hear
Like
you.
he's better with my sisters and me. Have a cigar, talk about money, talk about fucking life. He doesn't get on the ground and play with it. I don't think he's ever gotten on the ground and play with anyone. You could take my daughters when we first got our babies. You could take them and you could put them on his chest, and they'd fall asleep on his chest. And then when they woke up, he was done playing with them.
That was it.
Yeah, he just that's not his strong suit. But
so when you say you learned a lot about men, are you talking about the boys you were there with, or the teachers, or a little bit of both? Everything.
A little bit of everything. I learned number one about respect and talking shit. Like I went to a I wouldn't say predominantly, but I would say very Jewish, but not predominantly. There happened to be a good fair amount of Jewish kids, but very high end prep school from first grade to 8th grade, and it's like never once saw a fist fight, never once heard anyone yell at anyone, never once
Really?
heard oh yeah, and it was like it wasn't very athletic, it wasn't very rough and tumble. They were all very, very privileged kids. Everyone was like, except for me, my mom taught there, so that's how we got to go to school there. But everyone was like wealthy. And then I went to Jesuit, and our very first day, Spencer Ford, who's still one of my friends to this day, was maybe like 4'11" in 9th grade. He was small, and he punched a dude that was 6'5". He pulled a chair up, stood on the chair, and punched him.
Holy shit!
And the guy that was 6'5" nutted up because he had never been approached like that. But like that shit of just like a fist fight, of like men talking to men, getting swung on. Like I learned so much about maybe I learned a lot of toxic masculinity, but
I hear you on that, but also there's a place for that, and I think have you been in, how many fights have you been in? Under 5, more than 5?
More than 5, yeah.
Yeah. Me too. I've been in a lot of fucking fights.
Mostly group fights.
But I like to fight.
I've been in a couple.
I was never scared to fight.
For real?
I mean, the adrenaline, I was always worried, would somebody have a gun or a knife or something, but generally it were bar fights, and most people, unless they were leaving to go to a car, that's when I would get the fuck out of there, because I'm like, I don't know what they're coming back with. But I've been jumped. I was in fight in front of my dad after a soccer game. These guys had talked a bunch of shit. Now, the guys I grew up with, there was a little bit of both. There were 2 guys like George Wilk. You knew if there were fists thrown, you didn't even need to look behind you. You knew he was there. The other guys, they go get in their car and tell you they were going to get the car real quick. You know what I mean? Like those dudes. But we had played at this place at Werman High School. My dad didn't die long after this, actually. I was probably 15, 16. And this dude was talking shit to us before, and then we had to play them that weekend, and we destroyed them. And we got rough with them because they got rough. So after the game, the guy talked shit to me. And he's like, why don't you step outside? And I said, I'm going to step outside and beat the fuck out of you right now. My dad's standing there. I go, hold my bag. And my dad goes, be careful. And I go out, and it's a trap. It was a total trap.
Oh, I've been in a few of those.
It was a total trap. And what they had done was had all their boys from the neighborhood parked in the parking lot in their cars waiting. And when they brought me out and he and I started fighting, they got out of their cars and just started beating the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
But we held and then, I mean, it was fucking mayhem. The police were coming, like 6 cops showed up. We all got the fuck out of there. There were parents throwing kids across the hoods of cars trying to get out of there. I went to finally to my car. I had a lacrosse stick in the back. I took that out and started beating people. I still to this day have a scar back here. The guys, they took their high school rings and turned them around and just were pounding my head, but I would not let this dude under me go. I just kept, every time they hit me, I just kept fucking him up, and I'd do the double hit. I'd hit him tight right here so his head would hit the ground. I just kept getting double hits.
Dude, the trap is the scariest fucking thing. The only thing scarier than a trap is there's nothing scarier than the trap. I got trapped 2 times. One time was by these kids. I was pulling up to my dad's office. I was working for my dad, being a runner. My dad was a lawyer. And I pulled up. I was in my Fox. And as I pulled up,
Volkswagen Fox.
Volkswagen Fox.
I remember that car.
My dad's office was let's just say elevation. Let's just say my dad's office was at 10 feet above elevation.
Okay.
10 feet above sea level. These kids' house was at sea level. So and then there was a huge fence, like a wall that for these kids, it was almost like a retaining wall. It held the earth back, but it was also like a chest high wall.
Right.
So I get out of the car and they're behind.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
Okay.
They're behind, or maybe 17. They're behind my dad's office, and I hear like ting ting or whatever, and I'm like, huh. That's why I don't even think anything of it. Walk inside, and my dad's secretary Jan goes, were those boys shooting BBs at you? And I was like, huh? She goes, go out and scare those boys. They're shooting BBs at our cars. And I went, okay. So I walk out. I'm like, I look over the fence, and just sure enough, just right in my chest. I'm like, motherfucker. Shit. I go, what the fuck? I go, hey.
Taking fire.
I go, hey, get the fuck. I go, God damn it. Fucking shoot that gun at me one more time. I'll whip your fucking ass. And this kid just slowly just pulls the gun up and just goes, and shoots me again. Dude. And I go, I'm being fucking serious. I go, put those goddamn guns down. And then they're just laughing. What are you gonna do, faggot? They kept going, what are you gonna do? They're like fucking 8 years old, maybe. Maybe let's be real. Maybe they're 12. Yeah. Maybe they're 14.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
7th grade.
They just keep going, what are you gonna do, faggot? They keep yelling that. And I'm like, I go, you know what? I had to go do a run. I go, you'll see. So I fucking do my run. I come back. I get out of the car, and I hear them go, hey, asshole. And I turn around, and I'm looking at the thing, and they go, I thought you were going to kick our asses. I go, yeah, I will. And they're like, I'd like to see it. And I go, yeah, you like to see it? And they go, yeah, see if you can hop down here and kick our asses. So I go, fine. So I go to jump over the fence. And as I put one leg over, I see a blur. And their brother, who's probably 22 and fucking no shirt, huge, comes sprinting around the corner. And I just jump back over the fence, get in my car, shut the door, and lock the doors.
Did you drive away?
No, I sat there.
You sat there.
He got out,
Like,
jumped over the fence.
Now it's Cujo.
Yeah, it's Cujo. And he just sat there. And he's like, get out of the fucking car. And I was like, no. And he's like, get out of the fucking car.
Oh, my God.
Dude, I fucking scared the living fuck out of me. And then I've always been... The thing is... This is why I say... Halston, would you grab me another beer, please? A Heineken? I just had a really good meeting. So I'm celebrating.
Good.
The problem is, you know, I got beat up enough. They're in that little keg in the little thing. I got beat up enough that I know that I don't like getting beaten up.
Yeah.
And I'm not a good fighter.
I hear you.
Like I can, if it goes to the ground, I only have one real move I can do. It's where I'm for some reason I can wrap if I wrap my legs around something, I can squeeze my legs real tight. I broke this dude's ribs one time.
Damn.
Yeah. Boa
Kreischer.
I was in high school. I just remember it was on the ground. Everyone was fucking fighting, and he ended up in between my legs, and he was facing this way.
Right.
And I just fucking squeezed as hard as I could. And he was like, "Oh, you're breaking my ribs." And I was like, "I think that's the point."
I'm trying, motherfucker.
And so, but
I hope when I'm puncture something.
But the thing that was good about Jesuit for me was I had gotten in enough physical altercations that I knew how to duck a punch. Mm-hmm. I knew when a punch was coming. And B, I knew what it was like to get beat up. And so I was like, okay, I don't like getting beaten up. And I think that has hedged its bets in my life of like, you ever see those guys that it's like they lived way too privileged and they never got beaten up and they talk shit like crazy? Yeah. And you're like, have you never been punched?
Jay Larson's never been punched in the face. We talk about it all the time.
Jay Larson's never been punched in the face?
Never. He's no blemishes on that fucking face record, bro.
How have you never been punched in the face?
Because he said he's always been good enough to be funny enough to get out of it.
I'm pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, I've never been able to do it either.
I got punched in the face because I was funny. I got punched in the face one time. It was right after the Rodney King thing and the Lambda Kai's and the ATO. You know the line already. I just dropped. It was so funny at the time. Everyone fucking laughed, and this one guy was like, "This isn't a time for joking," and just clocked me. God damn.
I've been punched in the face by my own brother. I mean, everybody. I've been punched in the face by a lot of people, man.
I think that's part of the.
My mom punched me in the face.
That's part of having a brother, though. That's what I never had a brother. Was that you're like a legit fist fight?
But also the fact that we were the same age. It was perfect. I had built-in competition for everything. Let's play checkers, chess, video games. Let's go outside and throw the ball. It didn't matter what it was. It was always we made up our own game. All right. Let's try to see if we can hit the blue fucking flower pot over there. Bounce it off of that. It's got to go. You know what I mean? Like always competition.
That's fucking crazy. Are you competitive?
Super competitive. Yeah,
I'm pretty competitive.
When I want to be. If I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be competitive. Other people, I'm like,
I don't have control of it totally.
Yeah,
I'm not competitive with my career, oddly enough. I look at things differently. I think my career, for whatever fucking reason, I looked at stand-up as inspirational. Like I never had, and I think also, to be very fair, I was so lucky when I was young, and I got so many people that hated me because I got very lucky young, that I always looked at it, and when anyone succeeded, I wanted to treat them the way I wish people had treated me. But like 6 months in, I got a development deal, no one wanted to talk to me, and it was very isolating.
Hate you already.
Dude, they hated me.
Right. Didn't even know who the hell you were or know a thing about you.
Didn't know anything about me. They just knew they hated me. And I was like, cool. In my head, I'm like, and so then when I got out to LA and you'd see people like blow up, like say D'Elia or whatever. D'Elia worked hard. Like it didn't happen overnight for him, but when he did blow up young, I was like, oh, cool for him, man. Like I remember watching Whitney going, he's super talented.
He is. And that's the thing too. I think a lot of people don't realize is like whatever that person got, they were supposed to get that. They didn't take anything from you.
Dude, we just looked at a house.
No one took anything
We just looked at a house the other day, and I was like, I don't know if I want it. I don't know. I'm on the fence. And my wife goes, well, if you're on the fence, then that's a no. Everything you want, you go for. And if that's on the fence, that's a no. And then it's meant to go to someone else. And my manager put an offer in on it.
No shit.
And like randomly, just also put an offer in. I was like, oh, I'm so glad my manager will get. I hope my manager gets it.
Right.
And so I look at it that way. Like Burr, dude. Tom's a perfect example. I think people try to find competition with me and Tom. There's none, for the record.
Unless you guys establish it.
Well, I know, like when we set up our parameters of competing, that we do that. But career-wise, dude, I'm being dead serious, and you know this. He's been nothing but a brother to me, like legit brother. Like I remember. I probably shouldn't say this. I remember I'll phrase it differently. I remember one time when when shit was going on in my career and it wasn't going good. I remember talking to Tom about it, and things were going so good in his career, and you could hear him not want to share the good thing. Right. And I was like, you can tell me, just tell me. And it was so much better than where my life was. Like Tom knows exactly what we're talking about. Yeah. And it was like, if he heard this, and he was like, I feel bad. And I was like, don't feel bad, man. I'm happy for your success. Like, I'm happy for your success. And it gives me hope that I can make that money, or that I can get those gigs, or that maybe one day I'll have heat. And if I don't, at least I know that I have a friend that did. You know, that like, I know that it wasn't impossible, you know? And so like, I'm never, like when Joe says, you know, like, oh yeah, he's not bragging, but he's just telling you like logistics. Like, yeah, I just got back from Calgary or whatever. I did 10,000 seats. I don't understand the person that looks at that envious. I mean, I of course I want to do 10,000 seats, but like I go, how fucking amazing, right? That's possible,
right? What a goal.
Yeah,
you should be proud of that fucking shit.
I don't have any envy when like TJ Miller when he was in Deadpool. I watch it and I'm like, to my daughters, I know that guy. Yeah. So I don't get, and it was, dude, I think also this business got a lot less competitive. When I started, this business was competitive as fuck.
Well, now there's how many fucking networks and how many podcasts and how many different avenues of creativity can you, from influencers on YouTube to podcasting to, shit, AMC when we grew up played American movie classics. Now it's fucking Walking Dead, Breaking Bad. I mean, the series that come out of there are amazing. So I think there's more room. You know what I mean? There's more real estate.
There's enough room at the table, I think.
So much room. But I have to say, Tom's been the same for me. Like Tom's been.
It's been interesting watching him.
Yeah,
explode.
but Tom's one of the last guys to go. I feel like the traditional way of grinding it in the clubs, to growing that audience, to popping on Netflix, to
I would argue
that to another one.
I would argue he's gone nothing but the less traditional way. Tom has an ability to stand up for himself that I don't have. I remember him lighting up clubs and going like the club owners or managers going, "Guy's an asshole. He's stealing money. We can't work that club." Or that manager's a fucking piece of shit. She's not doing it fair. That's bullshit. You can't do it. Like, you can't do. He stood up for himself at times when I was like, "Tom, don't say anything, man. We're just lucky to have the work." And he was like, "No, we're not."
That's right.
Like, and
I'm not just happy to be here. I don't feel fucking lucky to have the opportunity.
Yeah.
I work to be right here, and I want to stay here, and I want to actually go higher. I don't want to just stay here.
And almost like I don't know if he'd admit this, and I don't know if this is even accurate, but like I think he said, "I'm gonna be good at this. I'm gonna be bigger than this fucking club. These clubs are a path to me." I remember him saying like, he got club offers, and he was like, "No, I just passed and I did one-nighters." I was like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What do you mean? What?"
You know what? You're right. When it comes to that is non-traditional.
Yeah, like
But I mean,
I was traditional.
grinding it through
I
the
was
club,
legit
like
traditional.
weekends and
got my offers. Said yes. Next year got offers. Said yes. Got the year after that. Said yes. Got the fourth year, and they were lower than the third year. They were lower than the third year. They were back to the second year. Said yes. Said yes. Did them. I also had 2 kids, so I didn't have much of a choice.
Right.
But and then I worked clubs, and I remember telling Push. I remember because Christina, Tom's wife, for everyone, I call her Push, but I remember telling Push it. I remember I was in Aspen, and she was talking about an offers she was getting, and Christina probably fucking thinks I'm an idiot nowadays, but I remember going, "Christina, me and you aren't like Tom. Like, Tom just is different than us. Like, don't feel bad taking the offers. Take the offers. I took the offers. Like, take the offers, do the work, do stand-up, do more stand-up." For me, the path was do as much stand-up as possible. That was it. And it's like, whatever, the money's irrelevant. I want to be doing so much stand-up that when I get to the place where I can go to the next level, it's undeniable. I wanted to be in the clubs every fucking weekend, even with this goddamn tour. This Body Shots tour I'm doing, I'm every fucking, hey, you want to add a show? Add a show. You want to add a show? Add a show. You want to add a fucking Monday? Add a Monday. Because in my head, it's all like the only thing I like is stand-up.
Well, it's funny you said that. By the way, I forgot to even promote my goddamn album on here. I've been having such a good fucking
Yeah.
Because I always ask Tom for advice. And I talked about you too, because you were a big help on this album, and I'll come back in a second. So I got a new album out called Get a Hold of Yourself. It's #1 stand-up on Billboard. It hit #1 on iTunes. It's still hanging out right now, which is really awesome. It's on Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon.
I saw it.
Google
It was up
Play,
there. It was
Spotify.
like you, Jim Gaffigan,
and Mulaney. Yeah,
Mulaney.
It's hanging in there. It's doing real well. And so yeah, you can get it on everywhere you get music, Spotify, Pandora, and all that. But I put some stuff on there, like the story I told on This Is Not Happening, because I don't know if you remember this, but I came over to you and I was like, I know you've done it, but how do you feel about, should I put this story on an album? And your whole point was this, and you were 100% right. Tom said the same. Like, you own that material, but Comedy Central owns that set. And at some point, if they ever decide to take This Is Not Happening offline, which could easily happen, that story vanishes into the fucking ether and it never happened. So thank you for the advice, because I put that on the album too, so that I at least have it controlled somewhere now.
I was there when you taped it, I think.
You were there when I taped, I think, the one that's going to air in 2019.
Oh, really?
When I was supposed to be the ball boy for the Colts.
Yeah,
that one. But yeah, so new album out, Get a Hold of Yourself. Thank you for letting me promote it on here. Let's go back to talking, because I wanted to say this too. I have a new podcast coming about, speaking about helping me, and Tom and Christina are creating just a small network that I'm going to be putting my new show on.
What's the podcast?
It's called The Honeydew. It's going to be called The Honeydew, and the reason is because I was sitting having dinner one night at a diner late night by myself, and I was eating the fruit, And I didn't eat the honeydew because I never eat the fucking honeydew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's perfectly good fruit.
Honeydew is my favorite.
I just don't fucking eat the honeydew. I need to start fucking around with people like you. But when I got up, I started walking out and I saw on the tables, honeydew was left everywhere. And I was like, nobody likes the fucking honeydew. And then I thought, this is a perfectly good food that's just thrown away. And I was like, I started thinking about me and I was like, I'm a fucking honeydew. I mean, I've reconnected with my mother, but my mother threw me away. I've had uncle throw me away, relationship. I mean, and I was like, God. So I decided what I wanted to do is what I love about the Crab Feast is still storytelling.
Yeah.
And I want to keep it storytelling, but I want to focus on those moments in life where you've been thrown away or overlooked or underpaid or embarrassed.
Dude.
And all of those stories about how then when you thought that was the biggest fucking thing in your life at that moment, and thank God it actually happened. Because like I think about Pete Holmes, man, he got divorced and now down the road 3 seasons in on fucking HBO, crashing and married with a new kid. Like that divorce,
He's got a kid?
yeah, it's probably the best fucking thing that happened to him.
Yeah.
But at the time it's the worst thing that's going on in your fucking life. And not just that, I mean, like if you've ever been I want to laugh at that.
I
shit.
love those days.
The honeydew.
I love those days. I was just talking about it today. The lowest I've ever been was in 1999, I think it was, maybe 98, 99, probably 98, 1998. I had a one night stand, my first one night stand ever, and I'd only had sex. That was my third girl. Why do I say person? My third, my third girl. And third person, my third female. Now I'm over defending it. The third sexy female with a vagina. And so there was this gay kid that worked at Barnes & Noble with me. I think his name was Justin or Charlie. Anyway, he came to work that day. I just had a one night stand, and he was like, I think I got something. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah, I think I got like a venereal disease. And I was like, really? This is before the internet. I mean, the internet was around, but it wasn't what it is today. It definitely wasn't in our hands. So we had to go up to a medical journal on the second floor, over by the magazines where the medical journals were. And we opened up a medical journal and just started going through all these venereal diseases. So then later that day, I'm looking at all these things on dicks, and I'm just like, holy shit.
Isn't that fucking terrifying, the shit that can grow on your dick?
Dude, I go into the bathroom to take a shit that day, and I just start looking at my dick. I don't think I've ever looked at my dick like close up. And as I'm
examining it.
I'm examining it now. And so I'll be very candid. This is going to be a little gross, but what is my circumcision scar? I started looking at it and going like, fuck, man. What is that? Like, why is it so fucking dark there? Like, this is fucking crazy. So I go back out to the journal. I start researching stuff, and I'm like, oh, I fucking got something. So I go to this because I just had a one. By the way, it wouldn't show up that day. It wouldn't show up that next day. Maybe it would. I don't know.
I'll tell you a story when you're done.
Okay. And so I tell the kid, and he was like, yeah, don't worry. I've done a lot of research. What you got to do is soak your dick and balls in white vinegar, and you'll be fine. I was like, really? He goes, yeah. White vinegar is a cure-all. Like, just... So that night, I get a thing of white vinegar, I get a bowl, I get a 40, I get totally naked, and I soak my dick and balls in
teabagging that bowl. Are you really?
Teabagging some fish and chips.
Is it on a table like this and you're squatting over it? How are you doing?
I had a blue couch, and I had the bowl in between the two cushions like this. And it was a big blue couch, it was an old blue couch. Have the bowl in between two things. I'm totally naked, and I'm just basically sitting on the bowl, my dick and balls.
Just marinating it up in white vinegar.
and I'm watching Quantum Leap. I'm sitting there going, this should take care of everything.
That is ridiculous. Are you like pushing your? Because I feel like my dick would come up and my balls would keep floating it up.
Oh,
like,
no,
trying to hold it in there.
I'm putting it in. Dude, it got so bad. I would go, like I would bring white vinegar to work with me, and I'd go to the bathroom and pour white vinegar on my dick.
Come on,
nonstop. Dude. And now my dick's getting irritated because it's been pickling all fucking week. And so I'm like, I think I'm okay. So I'm gonna go to Rite Aid. I'm gonna get some Tinactin. I'll spray my dick down with Tinactin. And then so I'm putting so much shit on my dick.
Isn't Tinactin foot spray?
It's foot spray, but I thought it was a cure-all, like
That's John
the
Madden.
white vinegar.
Tough-acting Tinactin, man.
So I go, and by the way, I'm doing this now for a week, and I can't stop looking at my dick. I can't stop looking at my dick. I'm getting obsessive compulsive. I go to the only time I've ever thought, like, not suicide, but where I went, I can see why that makes sense to people. I was taking a train into Philly, and I can't stop looking at my dick. I'm looking at my dick so much.
On the train?
I'm looking at my dick fucking
out
stop.
On the train?
Not in front of people,
like
but
going to the bathroom.
Going to the bathroom. I'm going to the bathroom probably 100 times a day. 100 fucking times a day. I can't be in my apartment.
But you haven't decided to go to a doctor yet to see.
It's just this gay kid got a venereal, or he maybe a spider bite in his opinion. and I am spitting out of control.
He doesn't come. He shoots webs out of his fucking dick now.
I go to Philly. I hang out with my cousin Abe, and I'm waking up and drinking because I'm so bad about OCD that the only thing that's turning it off is booze. So I'm waking up and drinking, going, this isn't healthy. It's the same time I saw Damon Wayans' comedy special. It was the only thing that took my mind off of it. Was his special where he talks about gluing his son to the toilet and throwing him across the room. It made me laugh so fucking hard. I come back from Philly, and I guess Abe had called my mom. Someone called my mom and was like, yo, something's going on with Bert. He's not doing so hot. I get back to Philly. I'm going back to work at Barnes & Noble. I'm walking through Washington Square Park, and I'm like, I see people smiling and holding hands, and I'm like, I can't believe they see they see sunlight in the day. I can't believe they're happy. How can you smile? This world sucks. I'm so depressed. I go to Barnes & Noble. I come back, and my mom calls me. I want to say I had a pager. Maybe I don't think I had a cell phone yet. I had to have had a cell phone. I guess I had a cell phone. No. I hadn't have a cell phone yet. My mom calls me on a pager. I call my mom from Penn Station, and my mom says, "Listen, I don't know what's going on with you. I don't need to know what's going on with you, but I want you to come home." And I was like, "Okay." She was like, just get in a taxi right now and go to LaGuardia. I have a ticket waiting for you. Just pick it up, go home. I was like, all right. Drive out to LaGuardia, get on a plane, fly home. That night, having white wine in the backyard with my grandmother, and she gives me this necklace. This necklace is my St. Jude medal. My grandmother says, I don't know what's going on with you. I don't care to know what's going on with you, but whatever it is, God can help. And she goes, and so if you pray, it'll help things. And she gives me this necklace. She goes, St. Jude's a patron saint of hopeless cases. If you say a prayer to him, every time you're feeling lost, then he'll take care of it. So I said to myself, I got the St. Jude prayer card, and I said to myself, all right, every time I want to look at my dick, I'm going to say the prayer. I'm going to say the prayer. No matter, every time I'm thinking about looking at my dick, I'm just going to say the prayer. Okay. So I said this prayer 100 times the first day.
How long is the prayer?
Saint prayer. Dear St. Jude, pray for us. We are so hopeless and lost. I don't remember it now, but I know it's about being hopeless and lost. And
you're looking at your dick while you say this?
Nope. I'm looking at the prayer card going, don't look at your dick, read the prayer, read the prayer, read the prayer. I read the prayer 100 times first day, read it again, and then we went to a widespread panic concert. We ate mushrooms, and I was looking around. I was like, I can't be the only one this fucking lost. Like, everyone's got to be lost too. Every time I want to look at my dick, I'm on mushrooms. I'm reading the St. Jude prayer card. I must have read this thing. And by the time I got to Philly, I remember when I got back to New York, I was laying on my couch. I thought about looking at my dick, and I was like, I don't want to read the goddamn card again. And at that moment, I stopped being OCD about my dick. And then I went to, oh, by the way, I'm leaving out a big part of this. I went to a doctor in Tampa.
Okay.
I finally went to a doctor in Tampa, and he was like, have you been playing with the affected area? And I said, I'm not playing with it. And he goes, it looks like something's going on. I said, well, I've been soaking it in white vinegar. And he was like, oh my God. He was like, stop that immediately. Yeah. I go, and spraying Tinactin on it. And he was like, okay, that's what's going on. He's like, you got to stop doing that. Oh my God. He's like, why would you do that? And I was like, well, white vinegar cures everything. He goes, no, it doesn't. He's like, stop. And so that's also, by the way, a little sidebar to this is he also told me there's nothing wrong with my dick. And so, but I never believed him. I still to this day, not to this day, but even when I met Leanna, I was like, just so you know, I very possibly could have a venereal disease. She was like, what venereal disease? I go, I don't know. It's been undiagnosed. You can't see it. But in my head, I just would not. Dude, that was the fucking lowest I've ever been in my life.
Yeah, because that's scary shit, dude. I had a roommate years ago.
Wait, are you talking about the venereal disease in one day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, here I'll put a caveat to that because he loved to go to get the full release massage and then pay the extra bucks to fuck the girls. He loved it. But there was a friend of mine at the time years ago, we had worked together, who kept telling him that there were these massage parlors in Inglewood, and he promised him, his uncle went there all the time, and these girls were 10s. These were girls, if you saw at a bar or whatever, you check her 2-3 times and want to talk to her. They were not ugly girls. These were beautiful women, and you had your pick of whatever. So he would tell him about this all the time, and then he'd come over and he'd smoke weed with me, and then he wouldn't want to go. And my roommate would get fucking pissed. And one time, because he would like they were going on a trip, he would go shower and get himself ready to go, you know. And this was years ago, and Sopranos was on at the time. That's how long ago this was. And he would come over to watch Sopranos because we had DirecTV. We had the East Coast feed, so you could watch it at 6. So he had come over to watch it and then did the same thing, smoked weed, and my roommate went off on him. Like, you fucking come over here all the time. He's like, Jesus Christ, fine, we'll go. So he's like, do you want to go? I'm like, nope, I'll sit right here. I won't watch. I'll wait till you guys get back. We'll watch the 9 o'clock. So they go, and they come back, and, you know, I'm like, how was he? He's like, oh, my God, I had the hottest girl. Like, he's right. The girls are so hot. Now, I don't know if he had gone to a place a day or two or whatever prior to that. I just know that night because I was a witness to it. And the next morning, he woke up, and he came out, and he was sweaty. He looked like he had the flu, and he goes, I think I got something. I was like, nah, it doesn't happen like that fast. He's like, I'm pretty sure. Can I show you? I'm like, I don't want to fucking see it. He's like, it's not on my dick and stuff. It's like in my groin. And he pulled up he had gym shorts on. He pulled it up, and right here in the groin, it looked like fucking chicken pox, bro. Everywhere on and like at the base of his dick, like where and I'm like, did you wear a rubber? He's like, I swear I did. I'm like, dude, this girl must have had a breakout like right there in your skin. So I tell him, here's my doctor, go see him right now. And the doctor's like, yeah, you basically just bought fucking genital herpes for the rest of your life, and then he's got it now.
You got herpes?
He got genital herpes. Yep, he's got.
But you could get that from any.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what he was doing prior to that, so I don't really know if it was overnight. Yeah. But according to him, and he might not be telling me the truth, he hadn't done anything in that week or two, and boom, there was this, and he had it the next morning, dude.
I can't believe there's not a podcast called "Yup, I've got herpes."
Oh, yep, I've had that.
Yeah, like where they where kids that are just got a venereal disease can go and listen to a story and know that it's going to be okay.
Right, like
I got the clap at college.
That's a honeydew moment right there when you think the world's going to be over because your fucking dick is going to be ruined.
Dick's going to be ruined for the rest of your fucking life,
and no one's going to want to touch you.
But it's not ruined.
No.
Like when I got the clap, I was like, I'd only slept with two chicks. That's it.
And you got it that fast?
I got the clap. She cheated on me, and I got it, and I was like, I'm done, man. Who's gonna want to be with a guy that's dirty? I'm dirty now. I'm dirty. Like it was such a mind fuck. I mean, I remember dating this one girl. I forget her name. I shouldn't even say it if I did know her, but dating her after that girl, and being like.
I have to tell you something.
I know I just wouldn't have sex with her. I was like, you don't want me. She was young too. She was like a freshman or a sophomore. I was like, I don't want to fucking ruin you. I don't want to spoil you. You got your whole life ahead of you. I'm fucking broken goods. I remember thinking that. And then the next girl I had sex with, we were hanging out, we're getting along, and I saw this going forward, and I was like, hey, you just so you know, this happened to me. And she was like, I'm cool. I was like, really? She's like, yeah, you're fine now, right? And I said, yeah. And she goes, you're good. I'm good. And I was like, really? I told Leanne when I started dating Leanne, I said, every girl I ever had sex with after that, I would always say, hey, just so you know, I wonder
that's the right thing to do, by the way.
Just so you know, I had the clap when I was like 22 years old. I got it from my girlfriend, and
Might be some residual shit.
And Leanne's
growing
like,
up
you're
in there.
30 years old. What do I give a
right,
fuck
yeah.
what happened 8 years ago? And I was like, well, you should know that happened to me. But, you know, what's so funny is that, like, that really fucked with my self-esteem and how I felt about myself. And it's, you know, what's really frustrating is that I took such great, like, I wasn't a whore. I wasn't fucking around. I was always wearing condoms. And then when even with girlfriends, I'd wear condoms, and then every now and then you wouldn't.
And then you've had sex with everybody she's had sex with.
Yeah, but even still, I was like, we're faithful.
Right. We're in a relationship now, so I can take this off. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it really fucked with my head. And when I thought when I spiraled out when I was working in Barnes and Noble, living in New York, I had only had sex with that was my fourth chick total. I think I said third earlier, but it's my fourth because I forgot about my first. So three girlfriends, and then this was a one night stand, and I think what happened to me was I got so in my head about my behavior, about having a one night stand, about hooking up with a girl and having unprotected sex with a girl that I didn't really know that well. I think it built up like, of course you got it. You're already dirty. You're fucking. This is, and it.
But that's you beating yourself up about it.
I bet,
right? Yeah.
dude. I've realized myself.
There's guys that went to Vietnam that got that shit overnight. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Just STDs and everything.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got everything. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Now I don't think I'd be that bothered. I mean, this is gonna sound really horrible, but I don't think I'd be that bothered if I had herpes. Like if me and Leanne both had herpes, I'd be like, and as long as my girls didn't have it,
yeah,
I'd be like, yeah, you know, now we're really faithful.
Yeah, right.
I'm definitely not cheating on you now. I don't know the
That's
conversation.
legit.
That should be a Me Too moment. Is they should go through and out all the guys that gave girls herpes.
You're right about that.
Didn't tell the person.
You're right.
And all
Or
the
anything. Fuck just herpes.
Do you know
all
that
that shit?
There's a New York comic I was talking to. She talks about getting herpes. She has herpes. She talked about it on stage. I worked with her in Connecticut. I wish I knew her. I wish I could remember her name. Really cute. But she says on stage that she has herpes, and it was like in the weirdest way. It was like the sexiest thing I'd ever heard a woman ever say on stage. It was like how she talked about getting it.
Right.
And I was like, that's fucking. And then her and another friend talk about having herpes together on a podcast. I think they talked about it. But I'm like, I like that. More of that shit. Move that shit forward.
Seriously, the STD shit. I mean, they're saying 98 or whatever, 90% of human beings have HPV, and like, I mean, just get it out there because everybody's fucking everybody. Everybody's got to put their cards on the table. Look, I knock on wood. That's not wood. There's some wood. I've never had anything. I've been lucky. And I said this just the other night. I said I've never even had crabs, and this girl goes, "Hey." Don't say that. That dates you. You know what I'm saying, Ryan? No, crabs are gone. Everybody's shaved.
I never got scurvy.
You're right. I said the point was, I feel like of all the, I don't even know if crabs is considered an STD. I don't know if they're a disease. I don't think they're an STD.
It's just
but
dirty.
Yeah, but
you can get crabs from a bed.
You know what we had? My brother got them. I remember having to go to the dermatologist for this, and then we had to like bomb the house, but we got mites. Do you know what mites are? Like body mites?
Yeah, they burrow in your skin.
Yeah, so we used to play indoor soccer all the time, and all that old indoor you remember that old AstroTurf?
Yeah.
But they never replaced it. So there's years of kids slide tackling and everything, and these fields were filthy, and the dermatologist was like, that's where you got this. Or you brushed up against a kid playing that had it or something. So I remember all the sheets and everything had to be washed, and no one was allowed to come over and spend the night for like a week and all that shit. And that's just fucking nasty, man. It's nasty shit out there.
I got ringworm.
I've had ringworm, and the doctor goes, look, it's not because you're dirty. Because I shout, he's like, that's a virus.
That's what we told Isla. It's because you don't fucking shower, bitch.
I thought that's what it was too, and he's like, no, you can still it's a virus. Because sometimes you'll get it like.
It's highly contagious.
It is very contagious, yeah.
Yeah, she gave it to me and Leanne.
I remember a friend of mine, we drove cross country, and he didn't shower, and he just kept sitting back there scratching himself all the time. But it was from not showering, I thought too. And he got it. I'm like, you got ringworm in the backseat of the fucking car while we're driving?
Yeah, I like. I wonder if like our generation, like our age of people, like if you lost a tooth right now, you'd be like, fuck. But there's like a whole like 100 years ago, 50 years ago, they'd be like, you lost a tooth. Well, fuck you. You
That
just
was
lost
it.
a tooth.
I'm going right to. I'm not even. I'm canceling shows. I'm not going anywhere with a fucking missing tooth.
I'm
in
not
my
going
face.
anywhere. There was a woman that came to my show in San Francisco. There's an Asian woman. I don't know why I had to say she's Asian, but she was with a white guy, and she was so fucking. She came up and she was like really weird talking to me, and she was like this. I said what? And she goes, I just fell off my bike and I lost all my teeth, but I can't not come to your show because I was really excited.
All of them.
She lost 3 of her front teeth.
Fuck.
Fucking front 2 teeth and a side tooth. And I was like, are you serious? She was like, I had a great time. Thanks a lot. Dude, if I lose, because I have veneers, so sometimes the veneer will come off. Dude, I lock it down. It's fucking Howard Hughes time. I don't leave that fucking house.
Nope. I chipped one time here, and you couldn't see it looking straight at me. But if I tilted my head down, you could see the carve in it, and I was like, "No, we gotta fucking fix this right now."
I'm thinking about Tom said. This is what I love about Tom, and what I hate about Tom is like Tosh is the same way. I would love to see Tosh and Tom hang out together. I remember one time him going, "Hey, why don't you get your teeth fixed?" I go, "What?" And he's like, "You got like a yellow tooth in the bottom front." And I said, yeah. And he goes, you should get it fixed. You have money. You should get it fixed. And I was like, He was like, yeah, but you're in the business of like, you want your smile to look good. And like, he was getting his teeth whitened all the time. And I was like, yeah, I haven't really thought about it. Like, it doesn't affect me. Dude, I met an old man who lost his pinky, and just was like, huh.
I mean, but what do you do with that? You just have to suck that one up.
I guess if you lose a finger,
there's no falsie for a finger. I mean,
nope.
Can you get a glove with a finger?
You ready for this? This is what. Spoiler alert! Fucking spoiler alert! Have you seen the Snowman?
You mean from Smokey and the Bandit, like we talked about earlier?
No, the Snowman's this fucking horrific thriller.
Oh, I've heard of it. It's a horror movie, right?
Horror movie,
okay,
yeah.
I've heard of it, yeah.
And at the very end, spoiler alert, okay? But it's, by the way, this will not ruin it only because the movie's so bad it's hard to ruin. They do such a good job of ruining it themselves. Michael Fassbender's the guy, and this guy's got this like thing. It's like a thing to amputate things. So it's like almost like a lasso, like a steel lasso, and he presses a button and it tightens so that
yeah, I have seen that. And it's a timer, and you can't get it off, and it just pop.
Yeah, it just pops off your finger or your neck or your
can I
arm.
go pee real fast?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah. Go pee. Just pee right in the backyard, right by that where that weight is. I'm gonna grab a beer. Just keep the podcast rolling. Just keep it rolling. I think this is.
Your wife's in the house. You really want me to pee out there?
You can go in the house if you want. Yeah, go in the house. I'm kind of guy can't just go pee in the yard, Halston.
I don't know.
He grew up in Baltimore.
Kids might walk out, your wife might walk out.
How long have we been going?
88 minutes. Hour 28.
No, not bad. Not bad at all.
My relatives in the Snowman.
What?
Chloe
Here.
70.
You related to Chloe Sevigny?
70, yeah, that's my last name.
You know her?
I don't know her, but yeah, she's my relative.
Are you talking to the mic?
No.
Are we recording still?
Yeah, I was just
Just talking to the mic. Talking to the mic. Wait, you're related to Chloe Sevigny?
Yeah, she's.
Am I saying the name wrong?
70,
70?
like number 7, letter E.
How are you related to her?
I'm not exactly sure. She's a distant relative, but yeah, I'm related to her. I'm also related to Elizabeth Taylor. Yeah, I've got some weird.
Liz Taylor?
Yeah, she's in my mom's side, and Chloe 70's on my dad's side.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've got a lot of talent. That's why, because I have talented relatives.
Who else is famous in your family?
That's it.
Who's the most successful person in your family?
Liz Taylor. I mean, she's
Yeah,
not
I
in my
guess.
family though. But yeah, I mean, Chloe 70's definitely.
So if you ran into Chloe Sevigny, Sevigny, how do I say
Yeah,
it?
7E.
Are you sure you're saying it right?
It's my last name.
I know, but I think you're saying it right. You're wrong. I've heard people say her name before.
You can say Sevigny or
I like Sevigny.
yeah, that's the French. It's French.
Chloe
so,
Sevigny. That's what I've always said. It's not 70. Chloe Sevigny. It's Chloe Sevigny. So if you met Chloe Sevigny, what would you say to her? Like, ready? I'll be Chloe. You be Halston. Excuse me. Do you know where the restroom is?
Oh my God, I'm related to you.
Excuse me?
Hey, look at my wallet. Look, here's my license.
Look at my wallet. You're such a fucking doofus.
I don't give a shit about like me. What do I care? Like, oh, I like that movie you were in with Will Ferrell that no one saw.
What was that movie?
I don't even know.
She was in Kids, bro.
She was in Party Monster.
She was in Kids.
Macaulay Culkin. She's a legend.
Dude,
like,
she's fucking huge.
yeah. You don't realize what a...
I do. I've known who she was since I moved to New York. Wait, what? A lot of people like the open tabs with
With the Steak King?
the Steak King.
That was a fun one.
A lot of people like the idea of having a guest on open tabs.
I like that too a lot.
Really?
It was really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun.
It was like a party.
Should we do a setup the way we do it here,
That'd be fun.
where we just have we build something in the middle of the couch, so that two people can sit on the couch, you can sit behind us, and we can all see the video together?
That was, yeah, it's so much fun.
Hey Ryan, will you grab me a beer out of the fridge?
Yeah. Sorry about
It's okay. What time do you got to get out of here?
that. Probably in a little bit.
Okay.
15, 20,
Perfect. We'll do another 15.
all right.
Yeah, of course.
What do you have in here?
Whatever. I don't really give a fuck. Yeah, Stella's great.
That's what I had to go get.
What time? Where's she at?
Preschool. Well, I had a sitter get her today, so I could chill and not have to rush and worry about all that shit. You know the deal.
I was just talking to someone about how I'd love to be a divorced dad. I was like, they got it, the best of both worlds.
If you're a good one, you do.
If you're a good
I mean,
one-
you could be a piece of shit, and then have everything to yourself. But
If you got a good relation, like a good relationship with your ex, and you can like co-parent, and like, I wouldn't have a good relationship with Leanne. If Leanne started dating other dudes, I'd lose my shit.
it's not easy.
Really?
No, because also we have girls, you know,
Yeah.
so everyone to me is a predator. You know what I mean? Like, I know she has good judgment,
Yeah.
but still, you're a fucking dad, and everyone's a fucking predator. you
Yeah.
know? And I misjudge people. Like, if I don't know, I see guys like with their polo tucked in and a belt and shit. I'm like, this guy fucking touches kids right here. Like, I just start judging
God, look at
based
the way-
on the way you're dressed.
Who the fuck wears a hat from a vineyard? The fuck? Oh God, this guy's
Stay away from that guy.
God damn it, that's so funny. Yeah, I would be really bad. What I would do is I would victimize myself so much that my daughters were worried about me, and so that I would be the topic of everyone's conversation. all
Right,
the
you
time.
would be the poor dad. Yeah.
I would never be able to just fucking. So Leanne, how's everything going? You having a good time with that guy? He seems like a nice guy. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw someone fucking around with his car. You might want to check that out.
Yep.
I don't know what I'd say if Leanne said, I think I'm going to leave you. I think I'm not happy. I'd just be like, you're not allowed to do that.
I was gonna say that's what I want to know. Would you be like, you can't do that, or
I'd be like, you can't. We
and what
promised.
would she say if you said?
I'd say stupid stuff like, we promised.
You promise.
We promised we'd love each other forever. You promised. Just see if it comes back.
in front of all those
Well,
people.
do you want me to lose weight? I'll lose weight. I'll quit drinking. How do you want me to cut my hair? I'll do
That's
whatever
sweet,
the fuck
actually.
you want.
That's
I would
really
do. I would, dude. I said it on stage, and I sometimes I say it, and I hope people don't take it as like I'm grandstanding. I've seen comics where they talk about like loving their wife and their family, and you're like, oh, you're just trying to sell a product. But like, I love that woman. Like, I fucking.
I can tell. Yeah.
And I'm so happy and comfortable with her. Like, I'm so comfortable. Like, if she said she was unhappy, I'd just be like, well, then tell me what you need me to do. Like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? I'd even probably be like, you want to fuck other guys? Go fuck other guys. Just come back. Just come back.
Just come back.
Just come back.
Just
I
come
won't
home
fuck
tonight.
anyone. That's the number one reason I don't cheat is I just don't want to lose her. That's it. I mean, it's like everyone wants to fuck chicks, I'm sure, but I just go, it's not worth it. Like, none of it's worth it because I'd lose her.
Well, you wouldn't just lose her. Your daughters would probably hate you and everything too. You'd lose everything.
Ugh.
Yeah, right. Imagine that. So I just go.
People would stop coming to my shows.
Nice. They would.
They'd be like,
hate
they'd
you.
be like, you lied.
Yeah, they'd be like, you're a shit dad and a shit person. Yep. Keep your dick in your pants. Keep it in that vinegar, bro.
Keep it. Yeah.
Fucking just vinegar.
I backed myself in a corner where I can't cheat. I should have done the character of like, I'm a dog. I cheat all the time.
Yeah, then it'd have been like, we love you, bro. It's just Bert being Bert.
It's like if you heard like if you, I don't even know if Dalia's got a girlfriend. I don't know his sex situation, but if you heard like, yeah, Dalia, he was dating this girl and he cheated on her, you'd be like, that makes sense. He gets a lot of pussy thrown at him.
I mean,
the numbers,
I can't even imagine the numbers. It's probably Beatles numbers.
I really think
I saw that your Cooking with Bert show where you did him, Bobby, and you asked him that.
Bobby Lee makes me laugh so fucking hard.
So goddamn funny. Dude.
He makes me laugh so hard.
Talk about pulling dicks out. He's the king of that. I mean, that's his shit. That's his shit.
So what, you gonna have guests on your podcast?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a guest each week, and then what I'd like to do also, because I believe in Tom's helping me, and I certainly don't have any huge star or anything, but there are guys that I'd like to help too that pull up with me, and like Steve Simone.
Steve Simone's so fucking funny.
And
dude, I had a dream about Steve Simone last night. It's so funny you say that. Well, I got into a long talk with everyone at the store in La Jolla was saying, literally, Steve Simone is the funniest comic they've had go through there. They're like, everyone said, and you know what's so funny is I had Steve Simone on my podcast probably fucking 6 years ago before I definitely didn't know how to interview anybody, but I didn't really I did no research, and I was just like, we'll just come here and hang and see what happens.
You gotta have him sit
I gotta
down
have
and tell
Steve
his
Simone
dad
back on.
Stories and shit, dude. You would go nuts. Dad and brother stories all day long.
Really?
All day. I love him. Josh Adam Myers, I want to help.
Dude, Josh's new podcast is fucking awesome.
It is great. Are you going to do one?
Who
do you want to do?
Well, maybe I shouldn't tip the hat.
Oh, okay.
But I shouldn't. I'll tell you afterwards. Because, well, here, I'll tell you afterwards.
Tell me.
I wanted to do Wilco, but I think he's already done Wilco with somebody.
Yeah.
Wilco's fucking, that's
Yankee
Hotel
Foxtrot.
Yankee,
that's it.
I like that album so much. I almost called my my second special, no, my first special, Comfortably Dumb. I almost called it, my second special. I almost called my second special, Whiskey Hotel Bravo, because that's how my night works. Whiskey Hotel Bravo. You made it home.
I had a great time doing it. So what I'm going to do is have guests, and then I'd like to do a rotating co-host, someone I have good rapport with, who can ask great questions and gets what's going on.
I'd love to be a co-host.
I would love to have you.
That'd be
come
fun
on.
as fuck.
Please come on. It'll be you, me, and Tom will sit down and do one.
I would love to know Tom's cantaloupe. The time that they
honeydew, bro.
Honeydew.
That's a different show.
The cantaloupe. I wonder when to know Tom's low point in life. Oh, I know what it is. You can't talk about one of them.
Well,
I'll tell you off air.
All right. I want to hear more about the overdose and all that stuff too. And just go into I know he's got a story about it, but I want to hear I want him to talk about that shit. Because he told me he woke up to a candlelight vigil. I mean, when that's somebody at the hospital going, hey, shit's not good. You know what I mean? We're gonna throw some last rites on this motherfucker just in case.
I've never even seen that side of him to party like that.
I know, right? I met him after all that too.
You met him when he was post supervising the edit bays.
That's right. At what was it called over there by Barney's Beanery? Yeah, that's when I met him. But yeah, I would. Please come on, dude.
I would love that.
Come on. And that's all we're gonna do is sit and tell stories and laugh about
Josh
all the
Adam Myers will be
embarrassing
a good
moments.
one.
He'll be a good. His whole life's a honeydew.
Yeah.
But I wanted to tell you, I read this article, so I started looking up honeydew, and I read this article. It said the three. See if you can guess the other two. The bottom three fruits are honeydew, and then there's two after it, and that's it. They bring up the whole rear.
That are people.
Two worse than the two.
Well, I know one's definitely grapefruit.
No.
No.
Figs and dates are apparently liked less than honeydew. And I saw this article of a guy that owns an all-you-can-eat pancake house. And he said, you can imagine how many uneaten pancakes I throw away every year. And he said, I throw away more honeydew than I do uneaten pancakes. And they said, well, why the fuck do you have it? And he said, it looks good next to the watermelon. Dude, people don't like, you're like, someone else said, put some bacon on it and salt. I'm like, yeah, honeydew's just, it's perfectly good. It's just something that people just toss away.
My daughters won't eat cantaloupe. Dude, a good cantaloupe.
I love cantaloupe.
But they love honeydew.
I'm eating the cantaloupe, the grapes, the strawberries, the pineapple. I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck about
Dude,
that
I'll tell you
honeydew.
what, that we just got, I think it's called passion fruit. No. I fucking forgot what it's called, but it was red as fuck. It was like eerily like poisonous red, and it tasted like nothing.
No flavor at all. That's what I feel like
Have you
honeydew
ever had
doesn't have a
jackfruit?
flavor.
Have you ever had jackfruit? Amazing.
I want those candied jalapenos. You got my mouth all fired up about.
fuck? Did Leanne never come out?
She's in there with you. She's in there being a mom right now.
No, she's not. I just got diarrhea. Georgia didn't have school today. I started drinking at 3:30.
Did you?
Oh yeah, as soon as you came over. As soon as you came over, I was like, I'm fucking done for my day. Watch a little Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Maybe start up the grill. I made lamb last night. Maybe I'll finish up some lamb.
I saw you got that green egg out there, dude. I was introduced to those, man. One of those I produced on this. It was like a home and garden show, and this dude had one early on and showed me, and I was like, oh, this thing's badass.
My dad, when I got that, I think I was getting ready to put the built-in in. Someone's like, yeah, you got to put a big green egg in here. And my dad was with me. He was like, well, I go, let's go look at big green eggs. And he's like, oh, only fucking idiots like those. And I go, really? And he goes, yeah, the kind of moron that likes to like wake up at noon and crack a beer and start grilling for the whole day. And I was like, you just defined your son. I was like, maybe turn on a football game, light a cigar, take a one-hitter, sit in the pool, check on the meats. Yep, you got me.
Oh God!
Oh fuck yeah! Well, dude, it's always good fun. You know I love you, man.
I love you, dude.
Me
Thank you.
Me and you will always be like brothers. We look alike.
We do
We're the same.
I keep
fucking
looking
laugh.
up at that picture up there, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm Kurt Kreischer.
Me, you, and Tom need to do a short. I want to do a sizzle to sell a movie about three brothers who've got to go across country and get their brother out of gay camp.
Camp where they're trying to make him straight.
Yeah, they're trying to make him straight.
No,
yeah,
I would love that.
So the three of us have to go over and pick up our little brother who was born like none of us really knew him. He's like 20 years younger than us. Our mom or our dad had a fourth kid, and he's gay. And Tom's character doesn't believe he's really gay at all. Your character's like, he's definitely gay, and my character's like, I think they can change him.
They can wash the gay off of him.
I think they can't change him, but we can change him, guys.
Right, yeah.
We're gonna get him in the car. We're gonna get him some pussy. We're gonna get him some, and so I think that would be a funny fucking. Except I'm sure it would be slammed by all the fucking groups. The Christians would hate us.
Do it the right way. That's perfect.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
dude.
Oh, man.
I love you, man. Congrats on the new podcast. I can't wait to do it.
Thank you, and
Let
thank
me know
you
when you
for
start
having-
taping. Let me
I
know.
will.
I'll promote it on this. And congrats on the CD, man. That's fucking awesome.
Thank you, bro.
Dude, top of the charts is a fucking big goddamn deal.
I'm excited about it. Thank you.
Fuck
It means
yeah.
a lot coming from you. Go get my new album. Get a hold of yourself. RyanSickler.com. Ryan Sickler on all social media.
Peace.